Lenovo's new tablet has arrived, the Tab P12 Pro. The Android tablet with some really impressive and convincing specs that may turn heads about the Android tablet stereotype. The predecessor, the P11 Pro, released about a week ago. No, I'm kidding. It released about a year ago and this is the successor. Enough old news and let's talk about this beauty in front of me. The P12 Pro has a design you'd be really familiar with other tablets. It has a metal back, of course. It's an aluminium alloy build and this really nice and simple two-tone grey chassis. Also back there you'll notice the antenna band across the tablet. Where is the fingerprint sensor? You may ask if there even is one. Well, there is. It's nicely integrated with the power button on the left side. It's generally responsive and reliable if you set up your fingerprint thoroughly. The button tactility on this tablet is amazing. The power button is firm and solid and the volume button is really satisfyingly clicky. I could fidget with it all day if I wanted to. I like it.
A great success!
There is no headphone jack on this tablet unfortunately, but you are provided with a USB-C to 3.5 dongle in the UK at least. If I haven't made it obvious how thin this device is, it's 5.6mm thin. It's thinner than the P11 Pro from last year, down from 6.9mm. Heck, it's even thinner than the iPad Pro by 0.8mm. This tablet has a bit of weight to it, but not too much. 565 grams or 1.25 pounds to be specific, but nothing my muscular strong arms can't handle. The camera module is simplistic too. It's a rounded rectangle shape. This time the LED flash is inside the camera module. The P11 Pro didn't have this design. The camera bump isn't too much either, just barely sticks out enough not to wobble much on a table. This tablet feels really solid and premium in the hands. At the moment, Lenovo only sells Wi-Fi only models of this tablet, but soon, depending on your region, they'll sell a 5G version. Face unlock is present on this device. It has a time of flight sensor near the selfie camera, so it should be a bit more secure than your average face unlock on your Android phone. Surprisingly, there is a vibration motor on this tablet. I'm used to using an iPad and iPads do not have any sort of vibration motor. I think it's great that it has one. It's super useful for getting alerted to notifications and I love it once again. On to the display. The P12 Pro has this gorgeous 2K AMOLED Dolby Vision display. Yeah, I know it's a long sentence, forgive me. It's Lenovo's marketing, not mine's. It has 600 nits of brightness in high brightness environment, so you can watch Squid Game or any other Netflix shows outdoors in the park or whatever you do outdoors. I don't want to know. Since it's an AMOLED display, you best bet it has some nice deep black colours, as well as good contrast ratio when you're watching content on the P12 Pro. The screen has 240 pixels per inch with an aspect ratio of 16:10. The quality overall is very nice and sharp and visually pleasing to the eyes. Now obviously if you bring the tablet up to your eyeballs, it won't be as sharp, but you get what I mean. It's a nice display. A display of this size is very comforting to watch content on Netflix, YouTube and more with ease. The viewing angles on this tablet is also great. Did I mention it has buttery, silky smooth 120Hz refresh rate? And man is it smooth. The previous P11 Pro had 90Hz display, so this 120Hz display is a welcomed step up and now even matches the likes of Samsung and Apple's iPad refresh rate. I know many people make jokes that Android tablets lag and whatnot, but not this one. Throughout the past week I've been using this, not once did it lag. By the way, the glass is protected by Gorilla Glass 5. If you go to display color settings, there are standard, natural and bright mode to select from. I wish Lenovo would have included a vivid or saturated display mode for those that love the saturated look. I'm talking about me. It's not all good though. Sadly, there is some sort of black crush issue present on this device, well, my device. When you turn on dark mode, the dark areas, specifically the grey colours, have some sort of texture. It looks grainy and it looks like the noise you see on those really bad dark photos at night. You won't notice this all the time, but when you turn on dark mode and get up close, it does occasionally bother me. There is no notch or punch hole of some sort on this tablet, instead it has extremely thin bezels. It's getting to the point where I can't even comfortably hold the tablet because of how slim the bezels are. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, then consider obliterating that like button. It's processor time.
Pizza time.
The P12 Pro has the 7nm Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 packed in. It's a well-deserved upgrade from last year's Snapdragon 730G. And if you really think about it, the Samsung Tab S7 Plus has the Snapdragon 865 Plus. So I think Lenovo done a great job choosing this processor. And if it makes you feel any better, this chipset has near the performance of the Snapdragon 888, but for a cheaper price. Well, not a cheaper price for you, the cheaper price for Lenovo. This tablet does support Wi-Fi 6, which is great, and Bluetooth 5.2 as well. Wi-Fi speeds on this tablet is very good. I mean, obviously it's good, it's a flipping Qualcomm chipset. Fast download and upload speeds and responsive ping as per usual, obviously is a Qualcomm chip. Benchmarks results for this tablet, well, the highest I've managed to achieve, which I unfortunately didn't record, is 696,000 on Antutu. Very nice for the Snapdragon 870. This just goes without saying, using this tablet on a day-to-day basis is like a breeze. Apps open instantly, they're responsive, and the processor is built like a tank, so I cannot complain much. For the GPU, it's got the Adreno, well, why did I pronounce it like that? Adreno 650 baked in. Once again, it's not a slouch for gaming performance. It delivers power like there's no tomorrow. On PUBG Mobile, you can get HDR at 60 FPS or even Ultra HD with 4K building textures and auto reflection effects at 40 FPS. I mean, I don't know what else you'd want from this GPU. There's no lag or frame drops or anything like that. It's stable and the tablet remains genuinely cool when playing games, which is not a bad thing. It's truly a surreal experience when gaming on the P12 Pro. Time to talk cameras. I know this isn't a main focus on a tablet, but I'm just including it anyways as this is an in-depth review. The main camera is 13 megapixel with autofocus, and there is a nifty 5 megapixel ultra-wide camera. So don't worry, there is no 2 megapixel depth sensor or 2 megapixel macro camera that you see on those cheap Android phones. No, none of that is here. It's all quality cameras on this device. You can record up to 4K at 30 FPS using the main camera, or 1080p at 30 FPS using the ultra-wide camera. The selfie camera is 8 megapixel and it can also record up to 1080p at 30 FPS. The photo shot on the back camera is alright. Honestly, I was expecting a bit more. They aren't as detailed or sharp as I was hoping for it to be. The photos are definitely soft even though I'm taking pictures in well bright conditions. The ultra-wide is not much better. You can see the lack of detail and sharpness on the ultra-wide even more. The night photography, however, I managed to get on this tablet is not too shabby, it looks quite nice. The selfies on this tablet are really good though. Good dynamic range, good vibrancy, good colours, and detailed but not too detailed to the point where you can see the pores on my face, which is not what I want. The back camera video recording is good. There is no electronic or optical image stabilization however, but I wouldn't imagine many people using this tablet while in action like walking or running. This is what it looks like. Obviously it's a bit strange holding a flipping 13-inch tablet in public. But yeah, this is what it looks like, 4K 30 FPS. And then I'll switch to ultra-wide mode at 1080p FPS, 30 FPS. Alright, ultra-wide at 1080p, 30 FPS. Very nice, very nice. Interesting. My fellow Americans, where is it? There it is. Today, I declare that 2 megapixel cameras and 2 megapixel depth sensors are banned. That is all. I'm not going to show that part, but yeah, a bit soft. Was expecting a bit much, but yeah, let me put the focus here. There we go. That is all. Very nice, very nice. By the way, it's a bit weird going outside with a tablet and just holding a 13-inch tablet outside. You know, it's suspicious, but anyways, the ultra-wide camera is a bit softer and not as detailed, but overall it's fine for video quality. By the way, if you want to view my videos earlier than anyone else and get a loyalty badge next to your name and pretty cool custom emojis to use in the comments, then consider checking out my channel membership perks. Precision Pen 3. A lot of people are interested in this topic on my last video. Let's talk about the Precision Pen 3. Depending on your region, this stylus does come included with the tablet. It magnetically attaches to the back of the tablet and charges via NFC. Bluetooth doesn't necessarily need to be on to use the pen. If you turn Bluetooth off, you won't be able to use the remote control features, and its anti-loss alert for the pen won't work either. If you're wondering if the pen still works after the battery is fully drained, no, the pen doesn't work when you write on the screen. It doesn't work like Samsung's S Pen, so if the battery dies, yeah, you won't be able to use it. The pen generally lasts about 5 days before the battery is dead, if you don't use the pen I'm talking about, so that's quite good. 5 days is plenty. The pen charges fully within roughly 10 to 20 minutes from 0%. I don't know the exact time because I forgot to set the timer, my bad. The palm rejection with the Precision Pen 3 is good. Palm rejection starts to work within around 0.4mm distance. The Precision Pen 3 does have a good range of pressure sensitivity, 4096 sensitivity level to be exact, the same as the S Pen. If you press lightly, then the pen color is faded, but if you press extremely hard, the color reflects how hard you apply pressure. So the more you press, the more black or whatever color it changes to. It also has tilt detection for the times you want to become an artist and want to shade. The delay when writing or sketching is pretty substantial. Honestly, I was expecting better for a display with 120Hz. When writing, you can physically see the delay. If you put it side by side to, say, the Note 20 Ultra with the S Pen, you'll notice that the S Pen visually has no delay whatsoever. Writing with the S Pen is like writing on paper, it's instant. So the Precision Pen 3 delay is a bit of a letdown. Since it has Bluetooth, you can use it for many different scenarios. If you click the button, it brings up the pen tool menu. The first button is for creating a new note. It brings up a mini window which you can use to type or even write, and the app automatically transforms it from a writing format to text format. It does work pretty well because it understands my terrible handwriting. The second button is for something like Windows Snipping Tool or Samsung Smart Select. You can drag a shape to screenshot a specific portion of the screen. The third button is some sort of laser highlighting feature. When enabling this feature, it brings up a red dot when you touch the display. This could come useful for when giving presentations over Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Fourth button is to magnify an area of your choice. And the fifth button is to scan a document. These are all great features that the Precision Pen 3 provides. Time to talk speakers. There are 4 JBL full drive surround sound speakers on this tablet. This tablet does support Dolby Atmos and what Lenovo calls Lenovo Premium Audio Design and Tuning. Sadly, there is no built-in equalizer to maximize the use of these beasts of speakers. I tried a third-party equalizer from the Play Store. It worked amazingly and sounded so good, but sadly it only worked for like 3 minutes before it broke functionality. So how does it sound? It sounds fine. Yes, it does get very loud, but you know, loudness isn't everything. When I compare the P12 Pro head to head with my iPad Pro, these speakers seriously lack bass. They lack the clarity in vocals when compared to the iPad Pro. They lack the richness in sound. The sound this tablet provides is a bit flat when compared to my smaller iPad Pro from 2018. Bear in mind, this is a fair test. I've got the volume matched by the decibel count. I've got no equalizer enabled on both tablets. But however, these speakers are great for watching content because they're loud and they are surround sound, some sort of surround sound. But if you want to listen to music, then invest in some third-party equalizer app that actually works and is compatible. However, concluding this, the speakers are quite nice, to be honest. As for the storage and RAM, there are two variants of this tablet. One with 128GB of storage with 6GB of RAM, and the other with 256GB storage with 8GB of RAM. The version I have is 128GB version. Let me inform you that the storage is based on UFS 3.1, the latest and greatest, so you best believe you're getting great read and write speeds. As mentioned before, this does support micro SD card expansion, which is great on a tablet by the way. However, Lenovo doesn't specify how many gigs of micro SD card you can expand to. 6GB of RAM on a tablet, well, an Android tablet may sound like it's pushing its luck. However, it's not all too bad, to be honest. I was underestimating the RAM performance. Now, depending on the apps you use, I can have up to around 12 lightweight apps in the background without it refreshing and ready to go, which is great. I've got no complaints about that. Heavy apps on the other hand, including TikTok too, typically does refresh when you've got too many apps open. I can only imagine the 8GB RAM performing even better, but that isn't necessary for me. Onto the battery. It's got a pretty humongous 10,200 mAh battery packed in the P12 Pro. The previous P11 Pro had 8600 mAh battery, so this is a welcomed upgrade. Now bear in mind the screen size, you have to bear in mind that it's got 120Hz enabled. With all that considered, the battery life is quite good. On heavy usage days with about 50% brightness or so, I do get around 4 days usage. I know screen on time isn't a good unit of measurement, but I get around more than 7 to 7.5 hours of screen on time, which is well satisfactory for my needs. But I will have to mention that I do generally get just a bit more battery life on my iPad Pro. The charger supplied in the box is a nimble, fast 30W charger. In 60 minutes or 1 hour of charging, you get about 69% of charge. It fully charges in 103 minutes or 1.7 hours. I have to say, for the battery capacity, this tablet charges relatively fast. Good job Lenovo. This tablet does stay extremely cool to the touch when charging, which is a good sign of good battery health for the days to come. Moving on to the software, the P12 Pro ships with Android 11 out of the box. On Lenovo's website they do mention that depending on the tablet and region etc, it will get one cycle of update, so you can expect to get Android 12, but as to when you get Android 12, well, let me get to it. Here is the interesting part though, the P12 Pro won't get Android 12, it will be one of the very few devices to get Android 12L initially. If you're not aware of what Android 12L is, it's a special feature drop by Google. On Android 12L, they've made the UI experience much better and optimized and polished for big displays. This applies to the P12 Pro since it's a tablet with a big display. They've made multitasking, well, they will make multitasking much better and more intuitive, and improve compatibility app support so they look better by default. The app support on Android tablets is a bit of a grey area. Not all apps are optimized to run in landscape mode orientation. Not all apps are scaled up properly so the UI buttons and text looks extremely tiny on such a large device. Android 12L focuses on specifically these issues. Also, they've added a handful of developer APIs. This should release around early next year 2022. Talking about app optimizations again, even Google's own apps are not even fully optimized on Android. For example, the YouTube app doesn't support pinch out to exit or swipe down to exit video like on my iPad Pro. The YouTube app's comment section isn't on the left side like on the iPad, but instead is buried on the right side. These little details makes me wonder Google doesn't even care about tablets. Google's own YouTube Studio app doesn't even support native landscape orientation, but if I go on my iPad Pro and look at Google's apps like YouTube Studio, you'll see that it's fully optimized for landscape orientation and all that good stuff. It's a confusing situation because sometimes it looks like Google is taking Android tablets serious, but on the other hand they look like they couldn't care less. Now I know this is a nitpicking, but come on, look at that navbar. I know this UI is very stock Android like, but that navbar is so tiny for a display this big. Lenovo has this feature called productivity mode. It essentially changes the user interface to something a lot more like Windows or Samsung DeX. So you've got your navigation buttons on the bottom left, you've got your taskbar in the middle, and right beside it with all your currently open apps. And to the right is the notification center, quick setting toggles, and the battery percentages and time. Productivity mode is most useful when you need to be, well, productive as the name suggests. It's easier to multitask and move apps around. You can minimize your apps, you can maximize your apps, but bear in mind not every app supports maximizing. So if that happens, you can resize the apps and drag it around to your desired location. You can also do split screen snapping, so simply drag an app to either the left or right side and it will snap into place and you have two apps side by side. Do bear in mind not every app supports split screen mode and sometimes they're not compatible, so it won't function or look proper. There is an option to turn on productivity mode automatically when you connect the optional keyboard. On the left side of the launcher is something called entertainment space. In this one section there are content from Prime Video, Google TV, YouTube, Twitch and more. They're all in here and I do like this entertainment space, it's quite useful. There is another nice productivity feature. You are able to turn the P12 Pro into a second display for your Windows laptop. Just download the Lenovo Project Unity app on your laptop or PC and pair them both. Now you can use your P12 Pro as a wireless second display. It's a really neat feature that shouldn't be taken for granted. Now this all boils down to your home Wi-Fi though. My home Wi-Fi is very fast and quick, so the experience using Project Unity is typically splendid. However, the footage I'm showing on screen right now, I did have some technical issues, so I'm having to use my 4G hotspot to connect them both, so you will see a bit of lag here and there, but bear in mind if your home Wi-Fi is good, it should be excellent. Good job Lenovo for providing these handy features. One bug I did find is that the settings app search bar does not work. You type a setting and it legitimately doesn't work. I tried restarting the tablet and everything, but I don't know why, it just doesn't load. Another embarrassing bug that I've found is spelling in the UI isn't correct. Although I've got my language set to English UK, words like colour are still spelled wrong. The letter U in colour is missing. Another thing that annoys me is that you can't swipe up to go home from the second page like iOS or One UI. Instead, it brings up the app drawer. Another bug that I'm currently facing is I want to transfer my photos and videos to my PC. So I'm trying to switch the USB controlled by to the connected device. And when I do want to go to the files to get the photos and everything, I click on the image. It says loading and then it says Windows photo viewer can't display this picture, blah 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 blah. So now I'm gonna have to transfer the videos and photos wirelessly, and this is just another bug. Another thing that bothers me is that on iPad OS, when you close an app on the recent app page, is very smooth and has continuation. On this tablet, when you close an app from the recent app menu, the animation is very abrupt and there isn't a flow of animation, it's just very abrupt. Even the Tab S7 Plus, which runs Android, has a nicer iPad-like animation. There is a section in settings called AI Experience Center. Here you can find features like Smart Attention, which keeps the display on when you're looking at it. There is another feature called Distance Reminder. It reminds you to keep your distance when staring at your tablet. This would be most useful for young kids who literally have the tablet by their eyeballs. There is no always on display, but then again tablets like the Galaxy Tab S7 doesn't have it either. Let's move on to the part that will hurt your wallet, the price. In the UK it's priced £750, but very frequently it is priced at £637.49 when it first released, and during Black Friday and during Cyber Monday, so you can tell it goes on sale kind of frequently. It's priced interestingly though. It's more expensive than the 1-year-old Samsung Tab S7 Plus with arguably on par specs. Not only that, but a more polished One UI 3.1 UI, with more features like Edge Panel, Samsung Dex and more. Oh, and One UI definitely has more nicer iPad-like animations. Don't forget that Apple and Samsung actually have an update policy. For example, Samsung's commitment is 3 years of major updates and an additional year of security updates. Now this is much better than Lenovo's uncertain and sketchy update policy. By the way, I just want to quickly add this to the video because I didn't mention it. Well, I've just only noticed it now. Where the Precision Pen 3 is located on the back of the tablet, I have noticed that there are 2 faint scratches on the metal back. It could very well be that the magnet was scratching up against the metal back, and it has created 2 minor scuffs. Well, it's very minor, but it is there. So I just wanted to let you know that if you're going to use the Precision Pen 3 and place it on the back of the tablet, then just be careful to, look out for the scuffs or any scratches like that. Don't get me wrong, the P12 Pro is a really nice tablet with really nice premium specs, but it's up to you to decide whether to get this or the Samsung Tab S7 Plus. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, then consider dropping a fat like. If you enjoy my tech content, then also consider subscribing too, and I'll see you next time.